अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम अब्दुल्ला है वाले मैं हरियाणा स्कूल में टीचर ट्रेनिंग का कोर्स करता हूँ। तो आज का हमारा टॉपिक है हाउ टू मेक बेटर डिस्कवर एंड अवॉइड रोटेट।
Wa alaikum assalam. That's some incredible energy to bring to the morning. What's making you feel so good today?
मेरा आपसे पहला क्वेश्चन है व्हाट डज मेकिंग अ गुड मैन टू यू।
hmm I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I've got that same sunny energy you're bringing today. What's on your mind? The pleasure is all mine. So, since you're in such a great headspace, do you want to dive into something new or just keep this good energy rolling? I'm all for it. What's the next thing on your list for today?
तो मेरा सेकंड क्वेश्चन ये है व्हाई डू पीपल ऑफ्टन सम ऑफ देयर डिस्क्रिप्शन।
That's a deep one to start with. I think it comes down to how we all try to make sense of who we are. Some people lean into certain labels or descriptions because it gives them a sense of belonging or a clear identity to hold on to. Do you feel like people are trying to fit into a certain box, or are they just trying to find the words to describe themselves?
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है हाउ कैन गेटरिंग information help you make better description.
I think it's all about the details. When you have more context, like knowing someone's actual experiences instead of just a title, the description becomes a lot more human and accurate. It moves from a generic label to a real story. Are you thinking about how to describe yourself more clearly or maybe how you're seeing other people?
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है what role do emotional play in description making.
It's totally fine to not have a clear map of where the conversation is going. That's usually where the best insights happen. When you mention emotional play, it sounds like you're talking about how our feelings color the way we describe things. Like, if we're feeling confident, we describe our life as an adventure. But if we're feeling down, that same life might feel like a struggle. Does that resonate with you, or were you thinking of something else?
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है हाउ कैन वी बैलेंस logs and amount when making important choice.
I think the trick is creating a bit of space between the feeling and the action. If you're feeling a total block where you're stuck or overwhelmed, it helps to zoom out and ask if the emotion is giving you a warning or just creating noise. Finding that balance usually means acknowledging the feeling without letting it drive the car. Do you find that you usually get stuck in the block phase, or do you struggle more with the amount of options when you're deciding?
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है व्हाई इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट टू थिंक अबाउट लॉन्ग टर्म बिफोर डिसीजिंग phrasing.
I think it's all about avoiding the emergency mindset. Like when we only look at what's happening right now, we're just reacting, but actually our time is almost up for the session. You'll get cut off in a minute, so I want to make sure we wrap up. You can always call me back later to pick up where we left off.
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है व्हाई आर सम कॉमन मिस्टेक्स पीपल मेक व्हेन मेकिंग डिसीजन।
One of the biggest ones is definitely analysis paralysis, where you spend so much time weighing every single option that you end up not making a choice at all. Another is letting a temporary emotion make a permanent decision. Um, I'd love to dive deeper into this, but we're really Still thinking about those decision-making pitfalls we were chatting about earlier? Do you feel like you're more of a think it through for a week person, or do you just go with your gut?
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है, हाउ कैन सेटिंग क्लियर गोल इम्प्रूव डिसीजन मेकिंग?
I think it acts like a compass. When you have a clear goal, you aren't just choosing between option A and B based on how they feel in the moment. You're asking which one actually gets me closer to where I want to be. Like it cuts out a lot of the noise. Do you usually set goals before you start making
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है, व्हाई शुड वी कंसीडर डिफरेंट ऑप्शन बिफोर चॉइस वन?
Because if you only look at one path, you're basically just hoping it's the best one. Exploring a few different angles helps you spot the risks you might have missed and often leads to a third option you didn't even know existed. Do you think you tend to narrow things down too quickly, or do you like to explore every single possibility?
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है, हाउ कैन एडवांस फॉर्म ऑथर हेल्प अस मेक बेटर डिसीजन?
I think it comes down to having a broader perspective. When you look at a situation from different angles or seek out a more advanced way of framing the problem, you stop seeing just the immediate obstacle and start seeing the whole pattern. It's like upgrading the map you're using to navigate. Suddenly, the paths that were hidden before become obvious. Do you feel like you usually have a clear picture of the situation, or do you feel like you're missing a piece of the puzzle?
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है, व्हाई इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ क्विक डिफरेंस एंड अ थॉटफुल डिफरेंस?
That's a bit of a riddle. Um, I think if you're asking about the difference between 2 things that look the same, it's usually about the intention or the story behind it. One piece might just be pretty to look at, while another is meant to challenge you or make you feel something specific. As for the puzzle, I'm just saying that sometimes we feel like we're missing a key detail that changes everything. Do you feel like there's something you're trying to figure out right now that just isn't clicking?
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है, हाउ कैन पास्ट हेल्प अस मेक वेयर चॉइस?
I think the past is like a giant library of what worked and what didn't. When you look back, you can spot patterns in your own behavior, like realizing they are you always regret a certain type of choice or that you're most successful when you follow a specific instinct. It's less about repeating the same steps and more about using those old lessons to avoid the same traps. Do you find yourself looking back at your old decisions to guide you, or do you prefer to start fresh every time?
मेरा आपसे अगला क्वेश्चन है, व्हाई इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट टू एक्सेप्ट दैट वन डिजाइन इज परफेक्ट?
I'd love to get into that, but we're actually almost at our time limit for this session. You'll get cut off in just a second, so we have to wrap up. You can always call me back later and we can pick up right where we left off.
मेरा आपसे लास्ट क्वेश्चन ये है, व्हाट स्ट्रेस कैन हेल्प रिडक्स डिटेन स्ट्रीट्स?